because I touched it. All right, so thanks for coming out today. My name is Garrett Martin with the Montana Energy Office, which is part of the State Department of Environmental Quality. And we're all here today to learn how to develop community scale solar in Montana. A couple of notes before we get started. I need to specify that we are recording this this workshop to be posted to our website, mtsolarcommunity.com. But just so you all know, you will be recorded. Any questions that are asked over the Skype or so forth will be piped through the speakers here. We should be able to hear them just fine. So we do encourage people to ask questions going forward, but bear in mind that any questions you ask will be recorded and posted on our website. So with that, I think we'll get started. We have kind of a full agenda, and I've started a little late because of tech issues. But so first I wanted to now, I don't know what to change. Scroll forward one. So, I fell asleep or something, but okay. So first off, just run through the agenda for the day. I'm going to talk a little bit about what the Montana Solar Community Project is, and then I'm going to hand it over to Chris Borton, who's going to talk through the basics and not so basics of solar photovoltaics, just to make sure that everyone has the same baseline in terms of understanding what it is that solar PV is, what is the opportunity that is available to communities in the state. We'll have a short break, and then we'll run through a bunch of successful projects that have been implemented in the past few years here in Montana, which I'll talk here from Ross Holter with Flathead Electric about the Community Solar Project, Chase Jones with the City of Missoula about their solar on public buildings, John Finn from the Lewis and Clark Library will also be talking about solar on the public libraries for the Lewis and Clark County. And then Brian von Osberg, also from Missoula, will be talking about their Solarize Missoula project that was implemented a few years back. From there, we'll talk with Julie Stitler from Homeward, who will talk about low-income housing in Montana and solar. We'll hear from Charles Robeson with the USDA about their Rural Energy for America program. And then you'll hear from me again about a solar grant program that we are implementing this summer. And hopefully everyone listening will be supplying applications in the coming months because we have a bunch of funding that's available to be promoting community scale projects for solar in communities across Montana. And we'd really like to see submissions from all corners of the state and all types of projects, both in size and scope. And then if we still have time and there's still questions, we'll take additional questions at the end. But at the end of each presentation, we'll set aside some time if there are any questions from attendees about what was presented. I want to clarify anything. So first off, the Montana Solar Community Project is a joint project or joint funded project between the Department of Energy and the Montana Department of Environmental Quality. We have been charged with developing kind of a blueprint for how to incorporate solar into Montana communities at increasing amounts, and in particular at the community scale level. So not at the individual residential home, but at the larger scales of multiple homes at one time, businesses, public buildings, and then also shared solar arrays. And we'll go into more detail later on as to what all types of things community scale solar can look like. So it's 80% funded from the Department of Energy from what was originally called the Sunshot Initiative. Now it's just called the Solar Energy Technologies Office. They got away with the Sunshot Initiative name because it was too catchy. And we had two phases to this project. The first year of it, which started last year, was really information gathering. We reached out to a bunch of communities and developed a bunch of reports to really help walk communities through the process of how to develop solar. Now we're transitioning into the next phase, which is directly working with communities, directly funding projects that we think have a lot of promise and hopefully can be successful and really move the needle in terms of increasing solar access in all Montana communities. But in conjunction with DEQ and DOE, we also have a bunch of project partners, some of which are here today, some which you'll hear from today, that are really help both providing additional resources to us, but also just kind of boosting our signal in terms of our reach throughout the regions of the state. And so Flathead Electric and Missoula Electric are both represented here today. Montana Dakota Utilities and Northwestern Energy, the two investor-owned utilities, are also project partners. MECA, who is the Association for all of the electric co-ops in the state, is also a partner, as is the Montana Renewable Energy Association, who's been of a great help, especially in the first year. So with that, I am going to, that's the next slide after Chris Borton, but we're going to turn over to Chris Borton, who is going to bring us up to speed on all things solar.